You ever looked at your motorcycle tires and wondered, are these still good or am I rolling on a death wish? We're gonna find out. Today we're talking weird tire wear, chicken strips, honey mustard versus barbecue sauce debate, and why your brand new tires might try to kill you. Knowing when to change your tires can be the thing that saves your hide and the beautiful new paint job you just got. A blowout on a motorcycle can be absolutely fatal, and in the absolute best of cases, pretty damn destructive to both body and bike. Today, I'm gonna lay it all out for you guys. You're gonna learn how to identify the different signs of tire wear. We're gonna talk about breaking in new tires, chicken strips, and what the fuck even is that, prophylactics, probiotics, pro bodybuilding, pro bono, pro bongo players, propolis, and Propecia for your tires. Ask your witch doctor if it's right for you. And all joking aside, guys, we're also gonna cover the different tire compounds. I have personally taken tens of thousands of miles of riding experience on 2 wheels and distilled everything I've learned and experienced into this video. So by the end of this video, you are gonna know exactly when it's time to purchase some new rubbers. You'll get the most out of your tires every single time. It's gonna save you money and keep your ass safe. Now remember, don't be a fool, wrap your tool. Now we're gonna start talking here about what tire wear tells you. This is kind of the CSI of motorcycle tires.
How fresh?
Just in.
We're gonna cover cupping, flat spots, scalloping and feathering, as well as cracking and dry rot. First up is cupping, also known as the tire's midlife crisis. What does it look like? It's uneven dips across your tire. Why does it happen? Suspension issues, improper pressure, or just really aggressive riding. Basically, your tire is so confused, it's trying to be a saw blade instead of a tire. The next type of wear you may encounter is flat spots. Now, what does it look like? It's a flattened area of an otherwise round tire. So you got your round tire, part of it's flat. Why does this happen? When the tire remains stationary under a vehicle's weight for a prolonged period, you develop a flat spot. So if you have a flat spot, congratulations on finally pulling that bike out of retirement after 7 years. It is time for new tires. The next sign of tire wear which you may encounter is scalloping and feathering, also known as the "why is my bike shaking" syndrome. What does it look like? One side of each tread block will be more worn than the other. They'll kind of look like little wedges. Why does this happen? Suspension issues, hard braking, improper tire pressure, as well as a really aggressive cornering. Your tire is trying to look like a Farrah Fawcett. That's not a good thing. You don't want feathering on the tires. The fourth type of wear you may encounter is cracking and dry rot, also known as the "these were good in 2005 special." What does it look like? It looks like tiny cracks all over the rubber. Why does it happen? Old age, bad storage, or exposure to too much sun. Your tire is basically turning into grandma's corns. It's time to cut them off.
Anything you say, Butch.
And last but certainly not least is actual tread wear, which we'll get to in just a minute. Now we're gonna cover how you identify when your tire is just worn normally. And the easiest way to do this is by the tread wear indicators. I'm gonna teach you guys how to read that. Where can you find these little tread wear indicators? Well, they're small raised bars inside the tread grooves. Really easy to find. Sometimes the tire will have an arrow pointing to them from the outside of the tire. What do they mean? Once they're flush with the rest of the tread, it is the time to change your tires. So if you're playing Find the Tread Wear Indicator and you can't find it, that's because your tire is bald. Go ahead and replace it before you start seeing sparks. Now, before we move on to the next section here, I want to share something with you guys called the chicken strip myth. Chicken strips are, whether you like dino nuggies or big old truck stop chicken tendies, honey mustard reigns supreme. Go ahead and fight me. You can argue in the comments. Honey mustard's where it's at. Anyways, chicken strips are also known as the commuter's curse. And just to clarify, guys, chicken strips are the unused portion of the tire near the edge. Someone may say you have chicken strips if the whole center of your tire is really worn, but the edges aren't even really touched. They don't look like worn at all. Those are called chicken strips, implying you're too chicken to really lean into a turn. Just to recap, people kind of mock them because they're like, bro, you don't lean your bike enough. You don't dip those knees in the turns, you know? I mean, come on, it's a chopper, baby, not a motorcycle, right? Now, why is this nonsense? Because tire width, suspension, riding style, all affect the lean angle. A lot of drag racers have chicken strips on their bikes. Are they terrible drivers? No. I'd personally rather have chicken strips than road rash, my dudes. Chicken strips don't necessarily mean you're a bad rider. I think it came about from race culture where it's a way to give your buddy some shit who's kind of a newbie on the track and he's just not taking the turns fast enough to really lean into him. That's really where the chicken strip thing came from. It's not a major concern. Now guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. We have a ton of videos on this channel. We have how-tos, boiled peanuts, and hairdos. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel. Let's let's get back to it. So we've covered how to identify the wear on your tire, how to tell if your tires are just normal use and they're wearing out, and you're kind of in the market for a new tire. So we're gonna talk about tire compound differences, the applications for each. So there are 3 different types of tire compounds: soft, hard, chubby. I'm just kidding, hybrid. The soft compound tires have a lot more grip, they warm up faster, but they wear out way quicker. They're really best for like canyon carving, track riding, or really aggressive sport riding. Next up is gonna be our hard compound tires. They last a lot longer, they handle more miles, but they take longer to heat up and really get that good grip. These are obviously gonna be best for commuting, touring, or long haul riding. Next up is the hybrid or 2 compound tires. These are kind of my favorites. They have softer for grip and a harder center for longevity. Kind of the mullet of tires. They got the business in the middle and party on the sides, all right? I like the dual compound tires because I feel like when I'm riding on my bikes, I get the longest performance out of them. They last longest. And in the turns, I feel like I'm sticking a lot better. Something that's really important, guys, is depending on the type of compound you choose for your tires, this will affect how long they last and when it's time to change the tires. Now I'm gonna cover the 7 commandments of when you should actually change your tires. Number 1, when the tread wear indicator says so. That's really important. That's a basic one. Anybody can just look at the tire and see that. 2, if there's visible cracking or dry rot, mucho peligroso. If you notice weird wear patterns that mess with your handling and you kind of feel vibrations, time for new tires. If your tires are unused and over 5 years old, even if they look fine sitting on a shelf, really recommend not using those puppies. 5, if your bike starts handling like a shopping cart with a bad wheel. 6, if you've plugged or patched the tire more than 2-3 times, get rid of it, time for a new tire. And 7, definitely need a tire after you do a burnout at our next party. Now let's say you pulled a big brain move and you bought some tires from tjbrutalcustoms.com. We're gonna talk about how to break in those new tires because brand new tires can be slippery ass death traps. Now you may wonder, why does a new tire feel like an ice skate? That's because the tires are made with a mold release agent and they have a very smooth surface. The mold release agent allows the tire to pop out of the mold, has a nice smooth surface. But if you go too hard in the paint on that bike right after you change tires, there is a risk of slipping. Now the proper way to break a tire in is the first 100 miles, just take it easy. Just ride around 100 miles, nothing insane, all right? Gradual lean in on those turns, take your time, go slow, that'll scrub the edges and give you some traction. Again, check the pressures often. New tires can lose air very quickly. So I would say after 50 miles, check the tire pressure, and I recommend checking that tire pressure after the tire heats up because that will change once the tire gets hotter. I think you should treat your new tires like a first date. Just take it slow, don't do anything crazy, and don't ask for a BJ 5 minutes in. When should you change your tires? Before they turn into a slip and slide. If you're in a position where you're looking for new tires, I did do a video on how to identify tires, how to read all the information, and how to choose a tire that's really right for you. If you want to check that out, somewhere here on the screen is going to be a link to that video. You're going to love it. If I left anything out, please leave me some info in the comments. I really work hard to make sure I give you the most complete information possible. I am perfect, but if you see a chink in my armor, call it out below. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want a cool hat like this one, we might have them in stock at TJ Brutal Customs because a lot of people buy them. I have like 6, but I just take them and I don't tell anyone because fuck the guys in shipping. I like SpaghettiOs.